Okay, Brunold,
Let's go.
let's go. Thing is, I wanted to discuss with you the both QuakeCon and the Foundry tournament because you're gonna be casting both, right?
Yep.
I already
I'm gonna
started
be
the video.
guessing both of the lands.
Yeah, that's great. And so the Foundry you're casting with Zoot and KeenCon you're casting in Spanish, right? With someone, with Sombra or with?
I'm guessing both in English. KeenCon I will be casting with Lethal as we did last year.
Okay,
I think they will also have a Spanish cast on KeenCon done by Kirk and Mardi Chaos.
okay. So and there will be some like for example CIS casters who.
I believe so. I'm not completely sure on that,
Mhm.
but I think so for both lands.
Yeah, because what we want to do is we want to give access to cYpheR and Agent to cast for CIS region. Uh, so I think
I
that.
hope if cYpheR does it, he does it in English because cYpher's English streams are amazing.
You think so?
Yeah, they are amazing.
Why?
He's just funny in the way he speaks, man.
I think the thing is, whenever I listened to him when he was casting in English, he was usually shit talking the players. So
That's the funny bit.
he always like puts himself in the shoes of the players. So he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Oh no, what are you doing? You need to go there," or something like this.
he, he doesn't understand that not everyone is as good as him, and it annoys him to see that.
First of all, maybe he doesn't understand that they are playing without the X-ray. So he kind of, knows more about what's going on, and you kind of already
Oh
see
no.
what's the
Why are you
thing.
trash talking cYpher?
No,
Poor
because
cYpher.
it's same with me when I'm watching the game. Like some things are very
Yeah, yeah,
obvious
yeah.
for me, and then I'm like, yeah, but probably they don't have really good sounds in game, and like
Yeah,
maybe
it's a
they are
lot
mistaken.
easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to analyze when you're just watching a spectator. You get all of the information. You get the timings. You get the
Mhm.
stacks. You get the wall hack.
I
And
think even in Quake Life it was easier because like Quake Life had really really good like sounds. So at
yeah,
least you could based on that. So you based on the sounds you knew like what the player knows. Also what I realized one time in Quake Champions is that I was watching someone stream and I clearly heard the opponent and I clearly understood that the guy who's streaming didn't have the same sounds as I have watching his stream because he didn't really realize the sound. I don't know if you have this feeling, but sometimes when you're watching somebody, it seems like when you are watching someone stream, you kind of hear more than the guy who is streaming.
I since recording my VOD, sometimes I get that feeling too. But then I play, and if I'm really listening out for that sound, I do hear it. I think when you're in game,
Mhm.
sometimes you're not expecting the sound
Yeah.
because you're focused on so much stuff, and it just goes by you completely unnoticed.
hmm Okay, so what I wanted to discuss is like if we kind of can go through the players and like predictions for both tournaments. What I really like about both of the tournaments is that Rafa is going to both of them.
Yeah,
So
yep.
like it's super crazy because the both of tournaments are not really huge prize pool or anything like that, and both of them managed to get like the world champion, current world champion, because
On
Rafa.
all the top six, except I think for Kilson, who can't go to KeenCon.
Mhm. Yeah, because like for endpoint, it's like basically we got. I'm looking now. It's Rafa, Venger, Zenaku, Kills and Maxter, Razy Chain, and
And you,
I opened the yeah, and me, and I open and I opened the Wikipedia page for that tournament. Um, and we also decided like it was last call basically because initially we really wanted to do like a tournament for 8 but single elimination because the guys from endpoint they were kind of afraid that maybe we don't really have enough time for that because we don't know what kind of issues we're gonna face, we don't know
yeah,
if we're gonna have some server problems, whatever, so we were like hesitating a bit, plus we really wanted to add 2v2, but then like I thought like if we have like 7 best players like or players from top 6 from QuakeCon, it would be such a shame to make it in single elimination instead of double elim bracket because let's say like Rafa will be seed 1 and Razy will be, for example, seed number 2, then we would maybe never even see their matchup like on
yeah,
that tournament. That would be a shame. Like now we know that the seeding will be based on the FFA game, so it's gonna be definitely different. But like initially, if the seeding was like from QuakeCon, like he will be seed 1 and Razy will be seed 2. So I really like that. And what you think in general about the format? And KeenCon is like what? KeenCon is like double elim as well, right? And it's
Yeah, it's groups and double elim.
okay, it's
It's
groups.
it's it's like 3 days of playing a lot of Quake. I think the most amazing part for both of these lands, it's like it's
Hmm.
off season, right? There hasn't been any
Yeah.
official tournament in like 3 months now.
Yep.
And I assume players still don't have information about the next Quake Pro
Hmm.
League either, because I don't see players too happy about the game or streaming much nowadays. It's off
Yeah.
season. There isn't any information, and still the top 6 players are coming to both of the lands. That's incredible.
That's crazy. That also shows that I was thinking like in future, for example, I think if third parties join our club a little bit more, like for example Maestro or some other companies, or in general like third parties who want to do something for Quake, I think it will be very possible to make something big, which will be competition for QPL. Like let's say this Resplik, right? If
Yeah,
it had like more money, it will be like cool like competition to QPL because we would also have like really good players there. And for example, maybe potentially we could have like for example QPL against like Resplik players or whatever. Like there is like a lot of room for
that would be cool.
cool things.
Uh, Yeah, and the rest league guys, they also made something really cool, which I think is very needed in the
Hmm.
online competition now. Like, if you want to play it, you have to guarantee you're gonna stream your game, and
Hmm.
your camera has to be facing your monitor.
Hmm.
It's, all of that is really cool for online competition. So you can be sure there are like
Okay,
no
yeah, yeah.
shenanigans or
The
fakes or
yeah,
something.
the thing with camera on your monitor is super good, but
Yeah,
are they all like required to stream their games?
yeah. On
Do
either the WAS TV or Twitch.
Okay. Do you think that's better than QPL? Because when you have like one like official stream, I think for Resplik maybe it's not necessarily better if players are streaming or.
I think like as a viewer, I like to be able to watch the official stream, but if I want to watch a specific player, I want to be able to follow him as well.
Hmm.
I usually have like 3 streams open when I'm watching tournaments. And I think that that's good. I don't
Hmm.
think a singular player like takes away viewers from the official stream unless the
Hmm.
stream is poor quality.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Um, I think for both like KingCon and the Foundry, we're gonna have like the regular webcams, and
Yeah,
this is also what is like. Yeah, I'm just super excited for our tournament because I know I will be going there like 1 week before and try. I will be trying to help to set up everything, but I'm just like sure that something can go wrong. So this is
I mean
just
something always go wrong. It's lands, you just gotta fix it on the spot basically.
yeah. And KingCon
Some-
KingCon also does have like LAN server, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Courtesy of the god of Quake,
Okay,
Mr. cYpheR.
okay. I really liked how KingCon production went last year.
It's insane. They have such a like
Hmm.
studio. You're going there this year as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you see like they have a really cool and professional studio. They have a lot of people working on it.
Hmm.
Like it's probably the most professional event I've
Hmm.
visited. I wasn't expecting because I had done a tournament for them in Game Gun.
Hmm.
It was like a local LAN that they did, and they only brought out like a few members of the staff there.
Hmm.
And then when we went to their studio in Barcelona, that was insane. That was like a completely different experience, like a production that rivals even some of
Hmm.
the biggest lands in other esports that I've seen.
It was like very shortly after the Romania, which was the final of Quake on
Yeah,
2022. And honestly, when I was watching the stream, it looked like absolutely on the same level as like as a tournament, which was run by professional like organization like PGL,
yeah,
which specialize with making tournaments. So that's crazy that you can do something on the same level and like I don't know who was working on KingCon, but I guess like let alone like there's a lot of guys who have experience. Like even like Maxter is working with videos and like filming and movies. So I think he helped a lot with that.
yeah.
But
Maxer did like the intro videos for players and stuff, and it was really cool.
yeah, I also like this question like who is like your favorite Quake player, like pro player and stuff like this. And there was like a lot of guys like talking about how they
Yeah,
started, like who they watched, that they like cheer for Rapha and etc. That's super cool.
yeah. I like this kind of questions. They let you like
Hmm.
understand and know the pro player's personality and stuff, which doesn't always you don't always get to see much of that unless they stream a lot.
Mhm.
So it's nice to see them.
Okay, so for KeenCon, we got 32 players, 4 groups.
Yeah,
So first day is only group stage, right?
yeah. First day is only group stage, and it's gonna be streamed by Chef
Mhm.
Tastic entirely.
Mhm. And how they determinating the seats, like based on the previous like QuakeCon results and etc., right?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so in general for both of the tournaments, do you think the same person gonna win both tournaments, or you think it's gonna be two different person?
I mean, I think Rapha's gonna win both the
Yeah.
tournaments, but we gotta like because it's off season now and players haven't really been practicing that much.
Mhm.
Both of these lands
Mhm.
have kind of a more fun vibe to it.
Mhm.
So I think for viewers, it's gonna be more exciting because we don't really know what to expect, right?
Mhm.
Like, I think even you have chances right now of winning both of them
Mhm. Yeah,
because no one has been really practicing too
I
much, and it's gonna
personally
be who
think, yeah,
adapts faster.
I personally think that Rafa gonna win both of them because
Yeah,
he played super good on QuakeCon. He played extremely good. If he can like play like similar, then there is like no chance that anyone else can take it. Do you think he will have easier time winning the Foundry or the KingCon?
hmm. I mean, there are more players in KeenCon, but
Yeah.
the same players in the Foundry. But I think since the Foundry is only top players,
Hmm.
uh, and not really upsets expected, I think the Foundry.
Hmm.
That's hard. That's a hard question. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
but
answer that,
yeah,
man. You tell
KingCon.
me, because you're the professional player here. Like, is it easier if you only have to play versus top players, or if you
Because
have to
no,
mix in with random styles as well?
I think watching this, I think we have exactly same players on KingCon except
Yeah,
Kilson.
except kills. And Shane, for some reason, Shane isn't going to KeenCon.
I think he should be going, no?
No, he's not. He's not. I don't know why, because he even has family in Spain, and he goes to every tournament. Like Shane is the first sign up on every single tournament. And I think he tried to sign up after, but now the signups are closed because there are already too many players. And he's probably regretting that he didn't sign up earlier.
Honestly, maybe someone from the Spanish guys, if somebody of them is going for fun, maybe they can give him a spot. Like honestly,
Maybe.
there is like a lot of Spanish guys. Maybe someone just like really enjoying the Quake and they want to participate, but they don't really care as much. Maybe,
I would like to see Shane in both.
yeah. Okay, so for now, Kills and Chain are not playing on KingCon, but honestly, I really don't understand why Chain. I think he didn't really know if he's going to the Foundry, first of all, because
Yeah.
we were speaking with him and we couldn't really we really wanted to give out the invites based on the QuakeCon results, so we wanted also we wanted to have some people from UK like Crazy and Venger is our first tournament, so we wanted to make it easy with travels, with everything, because it's like there is a lot of things going on. Like if you want to
Yeah.
organize tournament from the
And
scratch.
it's the first LAN. It's not a huge prize pool, so it's there was no need to like invite people from Australia and etc. Just have a smaller LAN to begin with. People who are close by.
Yeah, because the formats are also a little bit different. KingCon is like open tournament. It has like
Yeah.
limitation of slots, but you can go there if you sign up, so it's no problem. You need to pay for like your own trip. We wanted to have less players and pay for everything, so pay for trips, accommodations, foods, and etc. Plus casters, plus some people from like to help like set up everything, admin. So in total, we got like 15 plus people, which we paying for.
Hmm.
So it's like it's kind of difficult to gather as much financial support to also support the prize pool. That's why the starting prize pool is like lower. On Foundry, we got 1K, and we also opened the fundraising, which is going pretty well because like we gathered basically all like the majority of money on the day when there was like qualis,
Hmm.
which is understandable because there was like a big hype. And I think because now we are on 528 pounds and our goal is like 2K. So we also gonna run this like throughout the tournament. So I think the tournament LAN itself will be the time when we're gonna gather the most because like people will be more excited and they will be able to
Yeah, for
donate
sure.
and we also will be able to present what we prepared, right? Because now it's only words. We cannot really show like anything, so people don't know what to expect, if it's gonna be super bad or super good, like how it's gonna look like. I really like the style that we want to go more like a home event style. So we want to run the couch as well for the community. I don't know if we're gonna do it on the separate stream or not, or if we're gonna mix, but we want to show more from the kitchen, so we want to show like how it looks like. Also, I'm going there 1 week earlier, and I want to make some like Endpoint headquarters tour. So I want to show people like what is the practice room gonna look like, how the couch gonna look like the main stage, because we're gonna have like the separated studio with with tables set up. I don't know if you remember the PGL 2019 in Bucharest,
Yeah, I
where we had
remember.
this separated studio, and we had like two tables. We also thinking like to face them, like face like players, so they facing each other. That was super good. I remember I really like that, and they had like cool lights and stuff like this. So it's gonna be similar. I don't know where it's gonna be casters for the room yet. I think it's also separated one, so players cannot really hear them. So it's like more of a home vibe.
We
So
can just cast from the couch, man.
just from home,
Yeah,
so we can save up on tickets.
yeah, yeah.
Just from home. No, no.
But I like the idea of as a viewer, you never get to see what
Mhm.
events look like, what players are like when they're not practicing. You never get
Because
to
you only
see.
see in the stage, right?
Yeah, so I really like of like taking pictures or videos for people at home to see. But if you have a separate stream that someone is running, like just
Mhm,
showing players on couch interacting with each other, maybe there's the chat there, players
mhm.
getting asked questions, etc. That's really cool.
Because imagine you never been to QuakeCon, right? And you only seen the
You have
tournament on.
no idea what it's like.
Yeah, you only seen the stream on stages. And QuakeCon, like outside of what you see on the stream, it's just completely different story. Even the place room to practice everything around is just like big screens. It's like you cannot even imagine how the tournament looks like, honestly, if you've never been to QuakeCon or like to any other tournament.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. What you see on stream is like 10% of everything.
Okay, so we established that Rafa gonna win both of the tournaments.
And now we gotta establish that Raze is gonna get to the grand final of both tournaments.
Yeah. So top two we already have like secured for
Exactly.
both of the tournaments. Now, what you think? How Strongsage gonna do?
I don't know. Okay, we you kind of dropped the ball when you asked me which tournament is easier, and then I
Mhm.
asked you the same question. And you didn't reply. So would you rather
No, no,
play
no.
versus only top players or
Ah,
versus
yeah.
top players and the rest?
I think harder to win gonna be the KeenCon. Cause like as we said, the difference is like Kilsen, okay, and Chain now.
Yeah.
But we also have we have a lot of different styles there because we got Yup, we got Strongsage. I'm curious how they're gonna play on LAN. We got Nosfa as well coming. I don't know
Oh
how
right, Nasf is coming as well.
I
That's
don't
gonna
know
be
how
cool.
he managed to do that, honestly. Um, Serious,
He's probably not gonna go back.
yeah, Serious Drum is effortless. So
Yeah.
RMV is coming, and RMV playing super good. He uh, he played really good in qualis to the Foundry. CNZ is also going. I think if there is more people in the
It's like
tournament,
everyone going.
yeah, it's a bit harder because like more things can go wrong and more
So let
upsets.
me ask the question this way: if there wasn't Rapha in KeenCon, would KeenCon still be harder than Foundry?
No,
Because
no,
like,
like
is it harder going versus the best player, or is it harder adapting to all different styles? Because like, if you're going versus Rapha,
Mhm.
if he beats you, it's not an upset. But if you go versus someone like I don't know, effortless maybe, or strong stage or up or yup, they're not as good as Rapha, but
Mhm.
there's that fear that you might get an upset on.
Yeah, of course, and especially that there is more players. But I was also asking the question in shoes of Rafa, if it's for Rafa gonna be harder to win, like KingCon
Is
or
anything
or the
hard for
Foundry.
Rapha?
But for the any other player, I think still like KingCon, I don't
Yeah.
know. No, I think Foundry is gonna be more difficult to win if Rafa is in, because like he's like literally better than anyone else at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, I'm excited for both tournaments, and I'm just curious to see also how CNZ gonna do. I was super sure that he gonna qualify to the next QPH season if there is any
Yeah, that
on
was
QuakeCon.
such a shock that both him and Dramis didn't make it.
Ah, yeah, Dramis also didn't make it. That's a
Yeah,
shame. I think Dramis was in the QPL since the very beginning. So from the 2019, and he never dropped out.
that's insane.
Yeah. And who did CNZ lost to?
He lost to. I have to do a check because I forgot everything. Oh, he was in the group with like Dandaking, right? And Chain. Chain and
Ah,
Dandaking, yeah.
all right. Yeah.
And in the first game, Dandaking actually beat him. So Dandaking just causing upsets randomly.
Oh, so Dandaking should be in QPL, right?
Yeah, if there is a new QPL, I guess Dandaking will be there.
Can
That's
you
gonna be
imagine
funny.
this? First of all, he's gonna be playing like at 3:40 a.m. his time
Oh man.
with
Yeah.
300 ping.
Yeah, there's gonna be a great
That's gonna be
350
hilarious.
ping delta on like a South African server or something.
Hmm. Oh,
It's gonna
Sirius
be
is
great.
out as well. Actually, I don't know. I really don't know. If if the rules are the same in QPL, it's gonna be much different this season.
Yeah, the thing is we don't know because we don't have information.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait.
I guess we'll find it out soon. So stay tuned.
Hopefully.
You also guys can tell us in the comments if you think that if there will be like another season of QPL. Okay, so we established top two for each tournament. Uh, I think in general the Foundry is like easier to predict.
Yeah, it's only top players. You kind of know their skill level already
Mhm.
from all the all the past tournaments.
Because if we had seedings like based on the QuakeCon results, we could already kind of predict the bracket, but we're gonna establish the seeds with FFA game, and I
It's
think
gonna be hilarious.
it was your idea, right?
Did you read my next idea?
Next
I not
idea.
only
Mm,
Yeah, I not only want to make an FFA game, but I want to make players draft from a hat which champion they're gonna
ah,
play.
yeah, I think that's a bit too much, don't you think so?
I think it will be hilarious because I want to get like like I want to get Razy or something to just draw a kill
Hmm.
and just whine for 20 minutes
Hmm.
and then win the FFA still.
Ah, for FFA. Jesus,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you want to do
No,
it
not
for
for
1v1.
duel. No. No,
Yeah,
just for
that's
the
good.
FFA.
Yeah,
To
that's
get
good
people
for
to
the
draw
FFA.
champions for
Yeah.
FFA.
Mhm.
We got we gotta draw. We gotta randomize the map, the champions, and the players.
Mhm.
Everything for
Yeah.
maximum drama potential.
Yeah, but then bracket is gonna be crazy mess because like in the first
Yeah,
game you can have like I don't know, Rapha,
Rapha versus
Zenako,
Razy.
or Razy. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, and what you think? During off seasons, right? Who do you
Yeah,
think out of all those players like always keeps the form best? Would you say Rafa as well? Like except Rafa, let's say, because he's always like keeping his shape. He's even now like when there was off season, he was like playing from now and then, and he was keeping up his shape. But who do you think?
other than
Who
Rapha,
else?
I would probably say right now Zeneku is the only
Yeah,
one that I still see streaming
yeah,
actively
yeah,
out of the players in the Foundry at least. If we go to
yeah.
the KeenCon land, there's a lot of players who are very active, but in the Foundry, the only player I see right now actively streaming and practicing is Zeneku.
Same
I think Razy and Wenger are very active, but in like
in
CS,
CS.
when
Yeah,
CS2 came out
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
grinding it.
yeah.
Kilson, I don't think Kilson has touched Quake in a while.
Hmm.
You are probably playing 2v2s every day.
Hmm.
And Chain, I'm not sure how active Chain is. But yeah, Zeneku
Yeah,
is
I
should be the only one that's close to his shape
yeah, I
from
think
QuakeCon.
Chain also plays a little bit, so
Yeah,
it's good. But Raze Avenger, I think they are not even touching the game at all. They play in CS2 all the time. Uh, Maybe they want to make a team.
maybe.
You remember there was this idea like in
I
2000 like
remember.
10 or 11 or
Yeah,
something like that, and we wanted to make like team of Quake players, like pro
yeah.
players. That would be good for like sponsors and for like getting some attention. I think back in the days,
But that idea came because I
but
don't remember
we will
who
be
from
super bad.
Quake.
Yeah,
I don't remember who from Quake got an offer, but there were like two orgs interested in making a pro team
mhm.
of Quakers.
I think I was
But
doing that with Stermy, and
I remember Stermy was involved
uh-huh.
at some point. But
I
since
remember
at that point
discussing
we
that
still had
too.
like 6 major lands per year,
Yeah,
and CS had just CS:GO had just been released, and there
yeah.
was not much money. We all said no. and it took us like 2 years to say, "Oh shit, we should have
No,
said
not
yes."
no. That was even way before CS:GO. I think CS:GO
Yeah,
came out in
CS:GO was released in
13.
I think it was 2011, but it only got big in 2013 because of the of skins.
Mhm.
So it took
Okay,
us 3 years to regret it.
yeah. And what about now? Do you think like Quakers could be like potentially good in CS2?
The good thing about some Quake players now is that they're still pretty young, right?
Hmm.
And you have people here with CS experience, like Maxter played a lot of CS, Razy played a
Yeah,
shitload of
yeah,
CS, and he
yeah.
was really good at it.
Hmm.
Sirius probably has like 2K hours in CS. You have
Hmm.
Hran, who played a lot of CS.
Hmm.
I don't know, depends if they want to do it. It's hard for like five dual, as we know. Like, do you remember in 2015 we were all grinding CS,
Hmm. Yeah.
and we were not good at it.
What?
We were not
Yeah.
good at
No,
all.
definitely not. If you are just starting and if you want to be a pro player, I mean, in general, starting any game now, like you cannot
It's a
really be a pro
humility test.
player.
It's
Even
very
okay,
a
even
humbling experience.
even looking at Overwatch when we started, when the game came out, and we were able to play like more or less on tier one level on the first only first months,
Yeah,
and then slowly, I mean, except Rapha and the Hank who played for Liquid, and they still played in tier one. Like the rest of Quakers, we were playing some like smaller tournaments, like LAN tournaments in
yeah,
tier
yeah,
2, 3, and that was maximum. And even there, it was really even it was hard to win even like some European contenders or like some simple like OW Internet Cup during the weekend. It
yeah.
was the game was absolutely unbelievably like hard to grind because like it had so many factors. And I think that the worst is like, look, even some people who play CS for like 10 years or 10 plus years, they cannot really succeed because it's just not going their way. It's like the team modes are just crazy like difficult because you need to have five guys like on the same page basically.
I think that's the hardest part, right? Because in 1v1 in Quake or even in 2v2, it's only you and potentially one other guy that has to be on the
Hmm.
same page.
Yeah.
But on a team game with so many people, just finding the right people that have the same mindset as you and the same goals,
Hmm.
it's really really hard.
Hmm. Anyway, too much about other stuff. What do you think? Okay, so last year Maxter was like big like upset, not upset, but like big
Yeah,
like he came out really big on the 2022 QuakeCon, and then he won the KeenCon, right?
yeah.
So how would you say that he has a chance to win any of those two tournaments now?
I would
How would you
say
compare him to the last year?
like if I if I look at like because I've seen Maxer also play some duels and
Hmm.
stream.
Hmm.
He did like a couple of streams,
Hmm.
but alongside Zeniku, I would say there's a good chance one of them or both make it to the grand final
Hmm.
of either tournament.
Hmm.
And I'm here for it. I would like to see a grand final between Maxter and Zeniku
That would
in
be
both
super cool.
tournaments. If
Yeah.
that happens, that would be like a passing of the torch, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
like old school, not exactly old school because of Razy, but
Hmm.
previous Quake champions
Hmm.
winners
Yeah.
giving it to the newer players.
Yeah.
And I think they can. Right now, that would be the time to do it
Yeah.
because the other guys aren't practicing so much, and they definitely have the skill to take over.
Hmm. So would you say that Zenaku or Maxter have more chances?
I think
It's
both
hard to
of
say,
them
right? Yeah.
have an equal
Yeah.
chance because Zeniku. What was the placement in this QuakeCon? It was Zeniku on top four, right? In Maxer on fifth, and then last year it was Maxer on third. So I'd say
Yeah.
both of them are pretty much
On the same page.
on the same page right now.
Yeah. All right. Uh, and if you're gonna like cast like both of the tournaments, do you even like how do casters prepare before? Do they even prepare before tournaments? Like when you used to cast like with Zoot in the past, and did you even prepare anything, or you are so much into this scene and you know everything anyway, or like do you prepare something?
Uh, as a caster, I like to at least you got to be active in the game that you're doing
Mm-hmm.
if you're doing like analysis and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing about being a caster is that it takes a lot less effort
Mm-hmm.
to get something out of it than players. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could not play the game for 3 months and still be able to cast pretty well.
Hmm.
As a player, it's a lot harder, and the return is a lot less.
Yeah.
So I say casting is easier, but you do have to prepare. Back when I was casting with Zoot, we were doing like 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we did that for like 4 years straight. So we
Three
were
hours
very
a
much,
day, 5 days a week.
yeah, yeah.
What were
It
you
was every
casting?
day, 125 FPS. It was every day.
That was every day?
Uh, I think it didn't start every day. It was like every week, but then it started being every day because they had like the league. So
Okay.
the first two weeks of every month it was like groups, and then
Okay.
the last 2 weeks it was playoffs and finals.
So
They
that
had
was
a
tons of
cool
casting.
format. Yeah, lots of casting.
You
It was insane.
you were also casting some LANs with Zoot, right? Like the one in
Yeah,
Netherlands, right?
the last line I cast, the last line I casted with Zoot was actually 10 years ago. It
Hmm.
was Prague TDM LAN
Ah,
with where
okay.
all the community came. I don't think you were there.
No, no, I didn't go there.
I remember Cooler went there,
Yeah.
and the 102 team went there.
Hmm.
The Czech team went there. It was really cool.
Okay. They won the TDM, right? The 102
I
team.
I don't remember one.
Probably because they were on top back then, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably the 102 team or the Czechs. One of those
Hmm.
two.
How do you like the Netherlands one?
I know why you're asking this.
No. How do you know? Like I'm just asking because you were casting
Yeah,
with Zoot as well, right?
yeah, yeah. I casted. I was supposed to cast the 3 days, but because someone
Hmm.
decided to interfere with my diet,
Yeah.
I was only able to cast the first and the last day.
Okay. Uh, and did you ever? Because like you are the most known like duo, you and Zoot. Did you cast with someone else like for a longer period of time, or mainly with Zoot?
Mainly with it. When I went to face it, I casted a lot with DDK.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think that's the second person I've casted with the most. And
Hmm.
I've been casting a bit in Chef Tastic, helping out.
Hmm.
I think I casted a bit in Diabolical as well.
Hmm.
Other than that, not really. I've casted one LAN with Lethal, and we're gonna cast the second one. But
Hmm.
I already feel comfortable casting with him.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So we got
it's good.
good flow with Zoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think he's gonna be rusty a bit after? Because he didn't have like anything to do with the game for like 2, 3 years already, I think.
I mean, he's gonna do play casting and announcing. The only thing he doesn't have to be rusty in is in speaking English, and hopefully he can
Yeah.
still do that.
Hopefully he can still speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. So, what will be your advice for us, like to do? Like, what would you like to see from the tournament? Like, what kind of cool things we can do? Because we also gonna have like Pete spoke about it. We're gonna have some like cool tasks for the players, or like just more interaction with the viewers and stuff. Like, what could we else do? Like for the like, or for example, running the couch for community, right? Like we had
Yeah.
those like community streams like back in the days, like in the very beginning of Quake Champions, and we had some people from community. Like, how did you like that? What were cool ideas from that? Like,
What you mentioned earlier, like this couch idea of having like a separate stream
hmm
on a couch, and that the players who are watching the games also
hmm
have the separate stream, like a camera watching them or something,
hmm
and there's the chat there, and players can go up to the camera and talk to people. That happens in smaller lands like QuachiCon or something. It happens
hmm
like a random player streaming the games, and
hmm
people go there and interact. It would be cool if bigger lands started to do that as well,
hmm
so people can randomly interact with the pro that
hmm
approaches the computer or something.
And on the community couch, who would you like to see except the players, of course?
Except the
Would you
players.
want someone who is like constantly sitting there and running it, or like how would you
I
do
think
that?
it's fine if you let the players handle it,
Hmm.
because like the Quake community, we have all been here for like 20 years. We know how to behave at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think all the players can do it between themselves. You don't have to have someone
Hmm.
specifically running it.
We also wanted to like do some after party stream. That would be cool, but I don't
Oh,
know
that's
if it's
yeah. Not sure
possible.
if that's gonna be able to be, be streamed on Twitch.
Imagine all our channels are banned, and that
Yeah,
was the only one, and the first edition of Foundry and the last one.
but the after parties for Quake, or like the after parties on off every day, is not exactly parties. It's like people chilling on like hotel lobbies. I think
Hmm.
that's probably my favorite part of LANs.
Hmm.
and it's something that's never gets seen by the community unless they actually
Yeah,
come
or
hang out
just
at a LAN.
going out to the city and stuff. It's always like
Yeah,
cool, cool time. Uh, okay, we cannot really like predict like match by match on the brackets because we don't have like any info at the moment. Like I just wanted to generally go through all the players. Like anything else you wanted to add?
about the Foundry, I'm not sure because
Mhm.
I think
Oh,
Champ.
we already got the split for KeenCon, like the money split. Okay, because
Let's
I
see.
don't know if you guys also probably know, but KeenCon also has the funding like
Yeah,
site, so you can also donate to KeenCon. That would be super cool because like their prize pool is like 5K, right? And
yeah,
it's all going to the prize pool as far as I see. And the rest of the money you guys donating probably goes
me.
to Ins, half of it, and second half of it goes
It
to
goes to Little.
production. No, little are doing it pro bono, I think.
For sure.
And the other half is going for production, I think, or the some part of it, right?
Yeah, hopefully, because
That's what I
it's.
heard.
I hope so, because they deserve to get paid a
Yeah.
lot for what they do.
Do you think top
It's gonna
three
be the
getting
same.
paid? No, top three getting
Oh,
paid is like is a good way for like 32 people bracket, especially that they need to cover their own travels.
I prefer top three getting paid as opposed to everyone getting paid.
Hmm.
And since the prize pool isn't like over 20K,
Hmm.
it's hard to extend it more without becoming, a bit meaningless.
Hmm.
Because if you extend it to like 8 players, then first place stops being 2K and it goes to like 1K.
Yeah,
And at that point, if
yeah,
you live in America, you kind of don't want to go even if you win because you
true,
can't pay your
true.
trip.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, Also, so the bracket is also double elim, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
groups and double elim.
that makes sense. So first day is groups, then we got 2 days of bracket.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you think the top three is going to be the same in both lands?
Definitely not. I think Quake is such game that the day by day can even change.
And
Like,
what do you think? Do you think
mhm,
especially the new players, because there's Nosfa there, there's Dramis there, Tian's there.
mhm,
If they win something, if they take out some of the big players, that's not an upset anymore because we know
mhm.
we know their skill. But do you think people like Yup and Strongsage can cause an upset?
Of course, because both of them are playing all the time.
Yeah,
Like all the time, I see Strongsage and Yup playing like all the time. The more belief I got in Strongsage, because he kinda already went to few LANs. He understands how to play with the low ping. I think Yup is so stuck with his mind in playing on a high ping that he will struggle shit tons on LAN. Honestly,
I tend to agree.
honestly, I think he will have really extremely hard time because like it's like you remember this like this Spanish pony guy.
Yeah,
Same story. Like he played extremely good on internet, but he was so stuck with playing with 80 to 100 ping, which was even worse than playing with 220 now, that he
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
really understand how the game works on low ping. And I think that that's the case with Yop, because it's not only about playing like low ping on like someone's high ping, but it's also just playing low ping against low ping, and it's like absolutely different game.
Because the way you enter a room,
It's
the
not
way
necessary.
someone
It's not
approaches you.
necessary easier. It's not necessary easier.
No, yeah, it's harder, especially
Yeah.
if you're the aggressor.
Hmm.
You have less time to react
Hmm.
on low ping versus low ping than you would have with any ping difference.
Hmm. Because like hit registration also works like in a very weird way. Obviously, if you want to make a game playable on such ping, it's always gonna be in very weird way because like it's physically impossible like to have it like like running properly.
Yeah,
But like in case of Yop, I've seen so many clips where he just shoots the rail and it's like it's already a it's like some kind of projectile with a delay, and the hit registration works in a way that he clearly, when he was shooting, his crosshair was clearly like about 5 centimeters outside of the hitbox, and because of the hit registration he's still getting hit, like he's still hitting,
yeah,
so that's what I'm worried about, that he with his aiming style he will go to LAN and he will be like he will be just shooting in the direction of the model and hoping that it's gonna hit, but nothing gonna hit basically.
Yeah, it definitely takes a good time to adjust. And he
Hmm.
did play a LAN. It was not last year. It was last year. Yeah, he went last year on Romania.
Who? Yup.
Uh, yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah. He did.
he
He did.
was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's it. That's his only experience on
Yeah.
lower ping than 100. So
Same with
he
Strongsage.
only has.
They both struggle a little bit. So
Yeah,
and Strongsage also got like a bit more experience during the league, and then another like LAN. So now he's going to his third LAN. So it's gonna be a bit easier. Plus
the one
Strongsage,
player.
plus Strongsage had experience on playing on low ping, and Yap
Yeah,
is only playing on high ping.
yeah. I think Yep will definitely struggle a bit more. The one player I'd really like to see at KeenCon, but apparently is not coming, is Keltz.
Yeah, same.
Is he had a really strong showing in this LAN.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like his first game was like versus Drummies, right? His first game was versus Baxter. Actually, he lost, but then he went versus Drummies,
Yeah.
and he took down a QPL pro
Hmm.
on his first couple of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how many players can you say they've done? Like, Yup hasn't been able to do that.
Hmm.
Strongsage has played two LANs, but he still hasn't won a game versus a QPL pro.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
Keltz has done that in his first couple of games at LAN, which is insane.
that's crazy. I think he's gifted, like player. Like he's like mechanical skills are super high, and
Yeah,
he's not really like risking a lot. I wanted to say that playing like a bit more defensive and not risking is paying off on LAN, which is not definitely because Rapha is winning the LANs. But still, like I think for majority of players, you cannot really like play a Rapha style, and because you cannot just pull it off. But he just doesn't really do a lot of mistakes. He just doesn't fit. He seems like he doesn't tilt, which is already like a lot like big success to not tilt. I think. So I
I
think
think
he's just yeah.
Keltz plays like sort of like serious, but he spams a lot. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's kind of the way I see it because he plays sort of defensive
Hmm.
positionally, but he also doesn't. He does a lot of damage by spamming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's for me it's a big upgrade to Sirius because I don't see Sirius ever spam because he
Hmm.
cannot let the accuracies go down.
Hmm. Hmm. And he just uses like more weapons, I think.
Yeah,
Celts in general, like it's a little bit different than Sirius. Yeah, yeah. I also wish to see him. I don't know. I spoke with him briefly, and he said that he's gonna have some things to do during the tournaments. He wanted to go to the Foundry, so he played the qualies and he lost in the final. That was also crazy game. I don't know if you
yeah.
watched it. I did, and that shit was crazy. I mean, Awoken last map, it was I think clutch against Nyx, and like this last fight where where he wanted to grab the mega and chain for like 30 or 40 seconds was holding the angle with the rail. And then even Colts even used Invis and tried to like bully him away from the banana. Like I don't know if you remember that, but if you don't, you should rewatch it because that was crazy shit. Basically, he lost in the last like seconds of the game,
Damn.
so it was
So
super
everyone, we
super
have to
close.
rewatch the game.
Yeah. I'm actually, I'm quite happy that Chain is going because like we got like someone else from NA and it's cool to see Chain and stuff, but it will be also cool to see Couts. And as I said, I think he's kind of busy to go to KingCon, so unfortunately, unfortunately we're not gonna see him. But if there is another QPL season, he should be in, right? Because he got in
Yeah,
instead of
surely.
Tramis. Yeah. So, and I think he's gonna even improve more because like if you get into QPL, you are kind of like pushed to play like regularly, so you're not taking any breaks, you're preparing for your matches, you're playing every weekend, and etc. etc. So I think a lot of players just improved when they got to the league, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the especially on the like the North American side, if you look at the players when QPL started, if you look at their skill then and now, it's a
Hmm.
whole different thing.
Hmm. So
Back then, the EU players would be able to destroy all of the North
yeah,
American players except
yeah.
Rapha and the Hang, and nowadays, not so much.
Hmm. So that's a shame. We also don't see the Hunk anymore. I really like
Yeah,
how he play, and it will be
I
cool to
actually
see him.
messaged him on Instagram,
Yeah.
so he would try to qualify for QuakeCon, but he's like, I do not have time to put to put effort in Quake right now.
Well, maybe he didn't really need the time.
That's what I told him, but he's
So
like, if I'm gonna do it half-assed, I don't want to.
okay. Um, Yeah, like they also reduced the slots from 20 to 16 at some point. I think a year or 2 years ago even. Do you think if there is any QPL going on still, do you think they're gonna change the format a lot or they're gonna reduce spots? Imagine now reducing spots. You got 16 and Keltz, for
For
example,
8 spots.
qualified, and then they reduce it to 8. And then Keltz is
I
out.
think.
Like Baxter is out after trying for so many
Oh, I.
seasons. That will
That's
be.
heartbreaking.
Oh
That would
no,
be heartbreaking.
Baxter wouldn't be out because he kinda even went to
He
top
got
8.
top 8, right? He got top 8.
Yeah, yeah.
Surely he wouldn't be out.
No,
Unless
then
they
not.
reduce it to 6. It's
To
fine.
6, yeah. Or top 4. 2 EU,
It's
2
just top
NA.
4.
And it's like 2v2 every weekend
Oh, I
for
mean, I.
points. Two teams every weekend for points, like two teams. One EU team,
Damn.
one NA team.
I'm not sure if I would be sad with that.
No, that could be actually fun.
Because
Like
at least it's something
after,
different.
well, after week 88, that could get some boring, boring opinions, but still, I think that could be cool. I mean, I would love to see like some, for example, like just a quick change. Like I don't know. I guess people just love watching 1v1 too much, like Quake people. I don't think like
Yeah.
Jesus, my dog are going crazy. I don't think players necessarily want to watch 1v1 as much, but I think viewers prefer it. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't imagine like what would be reaction of the Twitch people watching QPL, which is 2v2 now.
I don't know. I think for it to make it viewable, to make
Hmm.
an interesting experience as a team mode, it has to be more of the POV of a player. Because like people
Hmm.
love watching Rapha play 2v2
Yeah.
because it's easier to follow, right? Because you are listening to the comms, you are
Yeah.
following the best
Yeah.
player,
Yeah.
you see everything they're seeing. But when
Hmm.
it's in a stream and the
Hmm.
caster is constantly changing POV and we don't really know what the hell's going on,
Hmm.
it gets a bit chaotic.
Hmm. True, but not as chaotic as sacrifice.
Not as chaotic as Sacrifice. No.
I don't even.
Sacrifice was probably the most fun mode to play, but it
Yeah.
was far too chaotic to follow in the stream,
Hmm.
sadly.
But it's like it's also because I got the impression that people who watch Quake, like majority of them, don't really play Quake.
I would I
Because
would
like I
probably
see some
agree.
kind of questions which already show me that these guys didn't even open the game at all.
Yeah,
So
because
it's like,
in finals we got like 5k, 5 to 10 to 15k viewers,
mhm,
and Quake is not pulling those numbers.
mhm. Even when there is a weekly where there is like one and a half, 2K or like whatever, there is still people who don't really understand.
Yeah,
Like who they understand when they're watching, but they asking the questions, and it shows that they don't know what's going on in the game, like when they play it, or like they clearly not playing it. Because
that
what I wanted to say is like, because Overwatch, for example, is also extremely hard to understand, but people somehow like understand, like enjoy watching it. I don't know what's the difference, for example, between Sacrifice and Overwatch, where you got 4v4 and 5v5, and also abilities, and even more cluster things going on, like in Overwatch, like more abilities, like team fights going on. In Quake, it's like, there's not really team fights or like stacking ultimates and etc.
but I don't think Overwatch pulls enough numbers in comparison to their player base. I think probably the percentage of people that watch Overwatch finals
Hmm.
compared to the player base is probably like 5 to 10%. And
Hmm.
in Quake, it's like 1,000%.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's just a testament to how easy 1v1 is to follow.
Hmm.
Because even if you don't understand anything, it's one guy killing the other. It's
Hmm.
as basic as it gets.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think about the map pool? For KeenCon,
I
for
really
KeenCon, we
like the
got
map.
Crucible as well. And
Yeah.
do you think there will be some issues with that map?
I think it should be entertaining. Even if there are issues, I'm
Hmm.
guessing, so I'll make it entertaining.
Yeah.
I hope there are some issues, not like bad issues, but like
Hmm.
something that makes the game fun. Because there's lava in that map. There's also a
Hmm.
mini mega health
Yeah.
next to a jump pad. I
Hmm.
wonder if players have been practicing that map much or not.
I
And I
think
hope
they
someone
did.
finds something that breaks the
Hmm.
map in a way to
Hmm.
make it not unplayable, but like really fun to watch.
We got almost the same map pool, except Crucible we got Insomnia. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we are forced before KingCon, So I'm just not gonna like risk with like Crucible not knowing if it's gonna work or not. Like I'm worried about a lot of other things already, like about everything basically, because like I don't know,
You
like
don't want to take risks.
no. So the rest is the same. We got our Corrupted Keep, Deep Embrace, Insomnia, Blood Covenant, Ruins, and Veil. Do you think this map will like it's good for like for example Rapha or like I didn't see Rapha play a lot on Crucible, for example.
Same. I haven't really seen a lot of the players play on Crucible yet.
I
So
seen
that
Zanaku
map,
playing like all the time on Crucible, for
yeah, and I
example.
see Strongsage and Yup play it all the time as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. No.
Maxter definitely played the map quite a bit,
Mhm,
but for the rest of the pros, that's gonna be very entertaining. I think there's definitely a lot of room for upsets on that map.
mhm,
And like, there's a patch for Quake coming, but I don't know if it's gonna hit before these two lands.
mhm.
I told cYpheR I hope the patch
Maybe
comes
maybe
just a
during
couple of lands before the
maybe
lands,
during our tournament.
like between one and the other. That would be great.
Imagine no. Imagine we playing the bracket and it's the maintenance for 2 days,
I hope so.
and we need to finish the tournament online.
No, but like,
That would be tough.
I wish it would hit like one day before the lands,
Hmm.
because like, there's a lot of really funny stuff in the patch that's coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you
Jesus,
looked at it at all?
yeah. And yeah, I did, but still, like, I would like to see the changes like during our tournament. I think that will be the dopest thing ever. Anyway, I just want to go to the end slowly because I'm not sure if we're recording with the sound.
Oh,
I'm never sure that we are recording with the sound. Once I had this issue, like I was like recording the podcast, and we finished the podcast completely, and then I upload it, and then someone from Endpoint says, "But there is no sound," and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's
I
so
remember one
bad."
of the videos we did. You forgot to record as well,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
that
Oh,
time I recorded. This time I'm not recording, so
yeah.
fingers
I'm
crossed.
recording, but I'm not sure there is sound. I hope there is. Like it shows on OBS that there is sound. But anyway, uh, so yeah, guys. 2 weeks out to the Foundry tournament. 1 week out, I'm gonna be uploading more and more content. I'm just gonna do the like whole like tour for you. So I'm gonna show you the place where the tournament gonna take place, like the practice rooms, our PCs, the whole setup, the whole like walk around the endpoint headquarters, and I will also try to maybe make some podcasts with guys who didn't appear on our show for a longer time. So I think Zanaku could be cool. I think there is a lot of changes in his life which are interesting, and I'm curious about how his approach to life right now. So I would like to speak with him. You can also support us on the fundraising side, which we're gonna link the in the give you a link in the description. And I hope the you're gonna like the LAN. So when you are arriving in?
In the third, I think.
Okay. So it's like Thursday, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for asking.